The second year after getting engaged to Sophia, she secretly got married to her first love. When I rushed to the marriage registration office, the two of them were passionately kissing. Seeing me, Sophia explained calmly, "David has a heart surgery next week and he wants to have a marriage certificate." I calmly took off my engagement ring and went to spend the Christmas holiday with my buddy. Sophia's friend advised her to come and apologize to me, but Sophia laughed arrogantly. "I'm the eldest daughter of the Sophia family. Who would dare to marry him after he was engaged to me? Just watch, within a week, James will come crawling back to me like a dog." But later, after seeing me burn the diary recording our love, Sophia suddenly went crazy and publicly proposed to me on Twitter. I lowered my head and kissed her best friend, Olivia, then retweeted with a comment, "I don't marry divorced women." Sophia regretted so much that she almost vomited blood and begged me to look at her again. The story is about to begin. If you like it, remember to subscribe. On the festive marriage registration platform, Sophia and David were kissing sweetly, deeply absorbed in each other. I stood at the door, nervously gripping the ring in my hand, not knowing what to do. "Sir, are you here to get a marriage certificate? Where's your fiancée?" The staff's voice suddenly interrupted the two on the platform. Sophia saw me and explained softly, "David has a heart surgery next week. He wants to have a marriage certificate with me. He respects your status as my fiancé and won't hold a wedding. You should be understanding and not make trouble." Sophia and I were high school alumni. We dated for 4 years in college and got engaged after graduation. But I never expected that the girl who took my engagement ring a year ago, promising to love me forever, would marry another man today. "Don't worry, I'm very understanding. Wish you a happy marriage." I smiled gently, took off the ring from my hand, and placed it on the registration platform. Sophia frowned slightly and said impatiently, "James, what kind of jealous game are you playing now?" I turned to leave, but David ran down the platform with an apologetic look and stopped me. He said in a low voice, "James, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Don't blame Sophia, okay? I'm having a heart surgery next week. I'm afraid I won't make it through, so I asked her to marry me. I just want to feel the happiness of getting married. Don't worry, if I survive the surgery, we'll apply for a divorce. David, you don't need to apologize." Sophia pulled David behind her and looked at me unhappily. "James, David's heart will be uncomfortable when he's sad. Don't you want him to get better? I just got married to him on paper. You're still my real fiancé. After his surgery, we'll apply for a divorce. Is it necessary for you to break off the engagement because of this little thing?" "Of course it is." I smiled bitterly. David picked up the engagement ring on the registration platform, looking guilty and helpless. "Sophia, I'm sorry. I made James misunderstand you. He took off the engagement ring. He must be angry with me." I turned and walked towards the door. Behind me, Sophia sneered, "Don't worry. James has had a crush on me since high school. We were together for 4 years in college. Every time I went to have fun with male models with my sisters, he would come back to me after being angry for a few days. When I got home, I called my buddy Mark and asked him to go to Miami for the Christmas holiday with me. James, I just finished visiting an art exhibition in New York. Send me your location when you get to Miami. I'll come to you when I arrive." At 8 p.m., I arrived at the Galaxy Tavern in Miami. Just as I had a drink, a bright and charming girl walked into the tavern. She was tall with fair skin. I took a quick glance and almost choked on my drink. What was Olivia doing here? My phone suddenly beeped twice. It was a message from Mark. "James, I have something urgent to go abroad. My sister happens to be in Miami. I asked her to accompany you for a few days. She knows how to have fun and has time. Just tell her what you need, don't be polite." Olivia probably saw me and walked straight towards me. Olivia and I were high school classmates. She was an art student and graduated from the New York Conservatory of Music. Now she's the lead singer of the top domestic band Plana. The last time we met was a year ago, when Mark and I had our birthdays on the same day and she came back from New York especially. "James, long time no see." Olivia curved her beautiful eyes, her voice clear and melodious. "Long time no see." I motioned for her to sit down and then said, "What would you like to drink?" "It's on me." Olivia looked at the table full of drinks, surprised for a moment, then frowned slightly and asked, "Aren't you not supposed to drink? There's no need to hurt your body like this just because of a breakup." So, Mark must have told her about me and Sophia. I smiled bitterly, looked up at the beautiful beauty mark on her face, hesitated for a few seconds, and then blurted out, "Olivia, would you be my girlfriend?" Olivia's eyes dimmed a bit. Seeing her unhappy, I quickly smiled and waved my hand. Sorry, I was. James, you must be drunk. I'll take you upstairs first. Olivia lightly pursed her red lips and interrupted me. I don't know how I ended up on the bed. When I opened my eyes, I saw Olivia taking off her coat. I stared at her in shock. There was a glint of interest in her eyes, and she chuckled softly. James, my brother said you're still a virgin. Is that true? Olivia, do you have a boyfriend? I forced a smile through my drunkenness and asked. She looked serious. I've never been in a relationship, so you're not at a loss. Before I could respond, Olivia kissed me. The scent of peach blossom wine spread, and the sweet taste brought a tingling sensation. My heart seemed to skip a beat. Seeing Olivia's blushing cheeks, almost instantly, I turned over and pinned her under me, lowering my head to respond to her kiss. As soon as the sky brightened, I woke up. To be precise, I didn't sleep all night. I had actually slept with Olivia, and what's more, she was Sophia's best friend. Olivia hadn't woken up yet. I got out of bed quietly, opened my bag, and found only $400 in it, so I put all of it on the bedside table. Just as I reached the first floor of the hotel, Sophia's call came in. James, what did you say to David secretly again? He suddenly fainted this morning. If I hadn't sent him to the hospital in time, the consequences would have been unimaginable. I just got married to him. Do you really want him to die? I made it very clear to you yesterday. The position of the son-in-law of the Sophia family has always been reserved for you. You know he has a heart condition and can't be sad or angry. Why do you still do such childish things? I slightly tightened my hand holding the phone and replied in a cold tone, I was very busy last night. When did I have time to talk to him? Sophia, I know you care about David, but don't pin unfounded accusations on me, okay? Before Sophia could reply, the voices of her friends came through first. James, you know David's physical condition. He's Sophia's first love. It's only natural for Sophia to take care of him. As Sophia's fiancée, why can't you get along well with him? Why waste words on this sycophant? Sophia treats him so well, and he still wants to break off the engagement. He's really ungrateful. Shut up. Sophia interrupted them and asked me coldly, James, where are you? David's going to have surgery next Wednesday, and his mood is not very stable. Come to Washington Hospital and apologize to him. It'll make him feel better. I thought for a moment and then asked, did David say that I called and scolded him last night? Yeah. Sorry, I was busy last night and didn't have time to touch my phone. I smiled faintly and hung up the phone. But soon, Sophia sent a message, what do you mean by that? I asked back, Sophia, you were able to send David to the hospital in time. Then where were you last night? It took her 5 minutes to reply, David couldn't sleep at night. I just accompanied him to sleep. I regard him as my brother. It's not as dirty as you think. At 7 o'clock, Olivia found me at the breakfast shop opposite the hotel. When I saw her, I suddenly didn't dare to look at her directly, so I lowered my head like an ostrich and ate pizza. She came over and sat down, her tone casually lazy. James, in your eyes, is Olivia only worth $400? I casually replied with an After seeing her shocked expression, I immediately shook my head and said, no. Olivia looked at me, her eyes filled with obscure emotions. James, I was serious last night. Don't tell me you were just playing with me. Olivia, we're both adults. What happened last night was consensual. The $400 is for the room. I looked directly at her, but my voice was a bit hoarse when I spoke. Olivia looked worried, got up, and brought a cup of hot water from the store. James, yesterday when I saw Sophia post the marriage certificate in her Moments, I was really worried about you. I asked Mark to keep an eye on your situation. When he told me you were going to travel to Miami, I bought a plane ticket and rushed here from New York right away. You and Sophia are over. Do you want to give it a try with me? Hearing Olivia's words, I just smiled gently and said, Olivia, I dated Sophia for 5 years, and she's your best friend. So what? She raised her eyebrows slightly, her black eyes showing undisguised straightforwardness. Sorry, Olivia, A sour feeling suddenly welled up in my heart, and I hesitated to speak. Olivia composed herself and smiled indifferently. I know. Don't take last night to heart. Even if you were playing with me, I'll accept it. There are many tourist attractions in Miami. I'll accompany you to relax these few days. 2 days later, Olivia said she wanted to take me for a ride on her motorcycle by the seaside. When we walked out of the hotel gate, I saw her leaning against the bike, holding a pink helmet in her hand. The sunlight shone down, and time seemed to stop. For some reason, I suddenly remembered the scene in high school when she and her friends rode their bicycles and sped past me. After getting on the bike, a hint of a smile flashed in Olivia's eyes as she stared at me in the rear view mirror of the motorcycle. "Hey, James, I'll drive fast. You'd better hold on to me so you won't fall off," the motorcycle roared. I paused for a moment and then tightly hugged her waist from behind. In the mirror, the smile on Olivia's bright and beautiful face became sweeter. When we reached the motorcycle lane by the sea, my ears were filled with the sound of the sea breeze howling. It seemed that summer had come. The setting sun was gradually sinking. On the beach, shells were dotted with golden light, and fishing boats in the distance were swaying gently. My phone rang suddenly. Olivia parked the bike by the roadside. She was tall and exuded a free, spirited and flamboyant aura, but every time she looked at me, her eyes were full of tender smiles. "Answer the phone. I'll take a few pictures for my brother." I nodded in response, "Okay." I saw that it was Sophia calling, so I walked a few steps forward before answering the phone. "James, where are you? My mom is looking at the wedding date for us. Send her your birth date." Hearing this, I found it rather funny. "Sophia, did you take an amnesia pill? What wedding are we having? We've broken up. If you want to send it, ask David to send it. He's the one who's legally married to you." Still so angry. "You're definitely jealous. It's been several days. Haven't you calmed down yet? David's surgery was successful. I applied for a divorce with him yesterday. After the divorce cooling off period, I'll marry you in style. Isn't that okay?" "Of course not." I emphasized that we had already broken off the engagement. Sophia's tone suddenly turned cold. "James, stop throwing tantrums. My patience has its limits. Sophia, why don't you just apologize to James? He seems to be really angry this time. If he marries someone else, you'll regret it." On the other end of the phone, someone was persuading Sophia. Sophia sneered dismissively. "I'm the eldest daughter of the Sophia family. He was engaged to me. Who would dare to marry him? Within a week, he'll come crawling back to me like a dog. Yeah, in New York, apart from the Olivia family, no one dares to mess with the Sophia family. If James doesn't marry you, he'll be a single dog for the rest of his life." The more I listened, the angrier I got. I hung up the phone and then turned it off. On the last day of the holiday, I returned to New York. After getting off the plane, I took a taxi to Sophia's Shishan apartment. Sophia is the eldest daughter of the Sophia family. After graduating, she works in her family's company and has always lived in the Sophia family's old mansion. A few days ago, when we were about to move in together, she moved to her own apartment. David lives opposite her. According to her, the elders of both families asked them to live in the same community for convenience. I had stayed there briefly last time and left a diary at Sophia's place. The diary recorded the entire process of my relationship with Sophia. I had to get it back today. As soon as the door opened, I saw Sophia cooking soup in the kitchen. David, wearing my pajamas, was closely pressed against her, looking at the pot. In my memory, this was the first time Sophia had entered the kitchen. She had a weak stomach. After we got together, I made her breakfast myself. She said it was the best breakfast she had ever eaten, so I made breakfast for her for several years. I tried different ways to make it just to make her happy. Hearing the sound of the door opening, Sophia glanced at me indifferently and then lowered her head to look at the pot again. David walked towards me and said with a soft smile, "James, you're back. I was discharged from the hospital today. Sophia specially cooked soup for me. You're not jealous again, are you? Sophia is your legally married wife. What would I be jealous about?" I replied coldly and walked around him towards the bedroom. But suddenly, there was a loud noise of something heavy falling behind me. "James, if you don't want Sophia to cook soup for me, you can just tell me. Why did you push me so hard?" I looked in the direction of the sound and saw David lying on the ground, looking furious as if I had really pushed him. "James, what are you going crazy about?" Sophia put down the ladle and rushed over. She helped David up and stared at me with a frown. In an instant, her gaze suddenly fixed on my neck. "James, what's that? Are you blind? Can't you tell it's a hickey?" I said irritably. Sophia's face changed drastically, and she shouted angrily, "Damn it, who did this? James, I haven't even slept with you, and you actually slept with another woman." "Sophia, don't get so angry. James went traveling alone in Miami. He must have been seduced by those vulgar women. How could he admit it if you ask him like this?" David grabbed Sophia and looked at me with a bit of contempt. "James, a man who doesn't cherish himself is like a rotten cucumber in the vegetable field. No woman will like him. The family style of the Sophia family is very strict. You slept with other women while traveling. Sophia definitely won't want you anymore. I stepped forward and punched David in anger. This time, he really saw it. He fell to the ground in disbelief. I coldly questioned, David, did you think about the consequences of spreading rumors about me in front of me? You knew Sophia had a fiancée but still married her. I didn't say anything about that. Do you think you're really accomplished? A flash of panic and helplessness appeared in David's eyes. Sophia's eyes were full of distress, but when she looked at me, anger also rose between her brows. James, you pushed David just now and now you hit him. You still say you're not jealous and angry? I was wrong for not telling you in advance about getting married to him, but David is not in good health. If you're angry, come at me. Sophia, I didn't push David. Believe it or not. I came here today to get that diary. From now on, let's not contact each other again. I turned around and walked into the bedroom to take out the diary. James, are you serious? Sophia called out to me when I was almost at the door. I looked at her and laughed self-deprecatingly. Sophia, I suddenly realized that my crush on you in high school was just a joke. Loving you has cast a cloud over my life. In my senior year of high school, I accidentally fell into the river. When I woke up, I saw Sophia. The seed of my crush was probably planted at that time. 3 days later, Olivia invited me to attend Plana's anniversary concert, and I agreed. At 7 o'clock in the evening, I sat at the venue. All the stage lights came on, and the screams from the audience were like boiling water. James, see? My sister is quite popular. My dad used to ask her to come back and manage the family's branch company every day, but she refused. She said she wants to pursue her passion now. Mark took out a support banner from his bag and smiled, motioning for me to hold one corner. I took a look and saw it said, "Loving yourself is always Plan A." The band Plana has 4 members. After they finished singing the anniversary celebration song, the other 3 members left the stage. Olivia picked up a guitar and smiled brightly. Next, I'll present a new personal song. It's written for a friend. I hope he'll be happy every day. The song is called Hot Love James. As the guitar sound started, she began to sing with a smile, a kite takes risks only for one string. I want to tell you that you're always my first choice. Olivia's singing echoed in my ears, and the tenderness seemed to be materialized at this moment. I couldn't help but think of what she said in Miami, James, do you want to give being with me a try? Suddenly, Olivia looked directly into my eyes, and my heart skipped a beat in resonance with her voice. James, why does my sister keep staring at you? Was this song written for you? The title even has your name. Honestly, is there something you two are hiding from me? I panicked and explained, no. She's looking at you. Come on, don't tell me my sister would look at her brother affectionately. That's just too weird. Mark glanced at me with a mischievous smile. I felt a bit guilty. I had told him about other things that happened in Miami, but I really couldn't bring myself to talk about that night, nor did I dare to. After the concert, Mark took me backstage. Hello, everyone. I'm James, a high school classmate of Olivia and also a friend of her brother Mark. After I introduced myself, a girl with long wavy hair, as if she had discovered something new, gave Olivia a meaningful look and teased, Olivia, is this the guy you like? That love song Hot Love James you just sang was especially written for him, right? As soon as the girl with long wavy hair said this, the other 2 bandmates burst into laughter. Olivia glanced at them, slightly raised her eyebrows, looked up at me, and said softly, James, the song was indeed written for you, but it's not a love song as they said. Hot Love James means those dark days are over, and I hope your future is wonderful. Hearing that it wasn't a love song, I felt a bit relieved, but for some reason, I also had a strange feeling. The next day, Olivia sent me a WeChat message, James, are you free this Saturday afternoon? I've made an appointment with a friend for a badminton-friendly match at New York No. 1 Middle School. I hope you can come and cheer me on. New York No. 1 Middle School is my alma mater. It would be nice to go back and have a look. Just as I replied to Olivia's message, Emily, a friend of Sophia's, sent me 2 voice messages, James, are you free this Saturday afternoon? I only listened to the first one. Since she was probably looking for me to talk about Sophia, there was nothing to talk about. Before I knew it, Saturday came, and I went to New York No. 1 Middle School. As soon as I arrived at the badminton court, I saw Sophia. She was wearing a white badminton outfit, and Olivia was standing opposite her. So, the opponent in the badminton match Olivia mentioned was actually Sophia. Emily saw me and her mouth curved into a big smile. Sophia, James really came. Today, you should give in a little. We've all seen how sad you've been these days, drinking because of him. It would be better for both of you to make up as soon as possible. Sophia looked over at me. Her arrogant face showed no expression, and she said disdainfully, "Why did you call him here? It's not like I can't find a boyfriend. Why should I keep indulging his unreasonable behavior?" Then she paused, and her eyes suddenly softened. "This is the last time I'll be soft-hearted. As long as James brings me water, I'll swallow my pride and make up with him." Their voices were neither too loud nor too soft, just loud enough for me to hear. I ignored them and walked straight towards Olivia. "James!" When Olivia saw me, she quickly ran over. The sun was shining brightly, and her beautiful eyes were filled with smiles. She seemed to be glowing. "Here's some water for you. Good luck in the game." I handed the bottle of purified water in my hand to Olivia. A blush spread across her ears. She looked up slightly and smiled. "Thanks. This is the first time you've bought me water. I'm sure I'll win today." "Olivia, what are you doing? James is my fiancé. Are you trying to steal him?" Sophia suddenly ran over and threw her badminton racket at Olivia fiercely. Olivia reacted very quickly and waved the badminton racket away with her hand. She chuckled softly. "Steal him? Sophia, if I remember correctly, your husband is David, right? James saw you two get married with his own eyes. He's just your ex-boyfriend now. I told you before that if you didn't treat him sincerely, I would definitely take him away. I never break my word." Sophia clenched her hands, and her eyes were filled with hatred. Seeing that she was about to hit Olivia again, I pushed her away. "Sophia, what are you going crazy for?" Sophia seemed to remember something. She looked at me with red eyes. "James, don't tell me you were fooling around with Olivia in Miami these days? Don't you know she's my best friend? Olivia is a big star now. She's just playing with you. She can't be serious." I smiled coldly. "So what? Sophia, you should understand that from the moment you got married to David, our engagement was null and void. What I do and which girl I'm with has nothing to do with you." Seeing my firm decision, Sophia, who was always arrogant, lowered her tone for the first time. "James, I'm sorry. At that time, David was going to have a heart surgery. He was afraid he wouldn't survive, so he begged me to marry him. We grew up together, and I couldn't refuse. I've applied for a divorce with him. After the cooling off period, I'll marry you. What do you think?" I glanced at her indifferently. "Not good. We don't have that kind of relationship anymore. Please don't mention getting married again. It's annoying to hear." "Olivia, you invited me to play badminton just to show me that you're a mistress? How despicable." Sophia glanced at Olivia and left angrily. "Olivia, you're so unkind. You grew up with Sophia, yet you steal her fiancé. You're really shameless." Emily looked at Olivia with disdain, then turned to me and continued, "James, you..." "Emily, are you crazy? James is no longer her fiancé." Olivia snorted and interrupted Emily. Emily stamped her foot in anger and left in a huff. Seeing that Olivia had an injury on her wrist, I took out a band-aid from my bag and handed it to her, but she didn't take it. Olivia looked at me with red eyes, pretending to be wronged. "James, this wound was caused by your ex-girlfriend. Can you help me put on the band-aid?" I looked down at the girl. There were smiles in the corners of her eyes and brows. So I tore open the band-aid, gently stuck it on her wrist, and then deliberately pressed it hard. After hearing her wince in pain, I chuckled. "Serves you right. You deliberately invited Sophia to play badminton, right?" "Yeah." Olivia didn't deny it and smiled, asking me, "James, when did you start liking Sophia?" I was stunned for a moment, then pointed to the lake in front of the library. "In my senior year of high school, I accidentally fell into a lake. At that time, Sophia found someone to save me. One day in the first semester of senior year, my dad called me, saying there was an urgent matter. After I came out of the library and was running towards the school gate, I tripped over a stone by the lake and rolled into the river. When I woke up, I saw Sophia. After that, my eyes were always on her. During those 4 years in college, everyone envied me for having a girlfriend who loved me deeply, but no one knew that I tried my best to pursue her." "Olivia, what are you looking at?" I waved my hand in front of her when I noticed she was staring at the lake thoughtfully. "Nothing. Let's go back." Olivia withdrew her gaze and smiled at me. When she smiled, her eyes were especially bright. For a moment, my memory was brought back to a few years ago by her smile. New York #1 middle school is the best middle school in New York. Back then, Sophia and Olivia, as transfer students, were very famous in the school. Both of them were beautiful and excellent students, on a par with each other. In my sophomore year of high school, Olivia and I were in the same class. She sat behind me for 2 years. In my memory, Olivia in high school also had long black hair. She was cool and tough, and was enthusiastic about badminton. After class, she was either on the badminton court or in the music room. Now, Olivia still hasn't changed. She always has that vibrant and energetic aura. At 1 a.m., my phone kept ringing. I picked it up and saw that it was Sophia. She was calling me from an unknown number, and there were also several text messages with strange content. I blocked the number and then turned off my phone. Unexpectedly, just after I woke up the next day, David came to my door. He looked haggard, but his tone was as unfriendly as ever. "James, do you know that Sophia had a gastric hemorrhage last night because of you? She doesn't want to go to the hospital. She locked herself in the room and doesn't want to see anyone. She only wants to see you. Come with me to Sophia's place." "David, in what capacity are you asking me to see her? As her husband? You're really generous, asking an ex-boyfriend who dated her for 5 years to see your wife. Aren't you afraid that we'll rekindle our old relationship?" As soon as I said this, David's face turned a bit ugly. As a man, I could tell that David liked Sophia. David had been in poor health since he was a child and went abroad to recuperate in the past few years. After he came back, he found me and asked me to break up with Sophia on my own initiative, saying that Sophia would do anything for him. David liked Sophia, and Sophia knew it. Since he came back, Sophia's life had clearly centered around him. They went traveling, shopping, and dining out almost every other day. People who didn't know might think David was her boyfriend. I had quarreled with her about this, but she said it was a task assigned by the elders to take good care of David because he had a congenital heart disease. At 3 a.m. the next day, there was a rummaging sound in the living room. I was awakened from my dream. When I opened the bedroom door, I saw Sophia sitting on the living room sofa. Things were scattered all over the floor, and she was holding my diary in her hand. I was so angry these days that I had forgotten I had left a spare key for her here. Seeing me, Sophia stood up excitedly and tried to hug me. I sidestepped to the left, and she fell to the ground. "James, can we get back together? I read this diary you wrote. You never let me read it before. It turns out that this whole book is filled with your love for me. I know you were with Olivia just to make me angry. I don't care what you did with her. As long as you come back to me, it's okay. Didn't you want to open a design studio? I'll send someone to find a venue for you at dawn. You said you wanted to adopt 2 stray dogs before. I thought it was dirty and didn't let you. Now I'm not afraid of the dirt. We can pick up the stray dogs tomorrow. Okay? I was wrong. I shouldn't have agreed to get married to David. I didn't tell you the truth in time. If it were you, facing a heart patient, you wouldn't be able to refuse either, right? We've been together for almost 5 years. I'm used to having you around. Since you started giving me the cold shoulder, I feel like a part of my heart has caved in. It really hurts." She sat on the ground, talking to herself, as if she was telling me something or blaming herself. I couldn't help but laugh in a rather baffled way. "Sophia, what are you doing in the middle of the night? If you're sick, go to the hospital." I reached out to pull her, trying to drag her out, but she clung tightly to my leg. I forcefully pulled her away and shouted, "Sophia, can you stop being so childish?" Sophia looked up. On her beautiful face, crystal clear tears were streaming down silently. I asked her straightforwardly, "Sophia, it wasn't you who saved me in Lake back then. Why did you lie to me? Did Olivia tell you the truth?" Sophia's body stiffened. She looked at the ground and suddenly laughed. "James, it was indeed not me who saved you back then. It was Olivia. In the hospital, Olivia went to change her wet school uniform. When you woke up, you asked me if I was the one who saved you. I didn't explain and let you think it was me. I admit I had my own motives. I had a crush on you before that. Olivia and I transferred to New York #1 middle school from a private high school. Everyone was afraid of offending us, but you were different. You were the vice president of the student union. When facing us, you still carried out your duties impartially. When Olivia was late, you insisted on marking her down despite the teacher's partiality. That left a deep impression on me. The next day, Olivia went to New York for training and was away for half a year. When she came back after the art exam, she found that you had fallen in love with me, so she didn't mention saving you anymore. So that's how it was. Actually, Mark told me this yesterday. He said Olivia didn't want him to mention it in front of me, mainly because she was afraid it would remind me of the shadow of falling into the water. Since my dad drowned while trying to save someone, I'm very afraid of water. I smiled faintly, turned around, went to the kitchen, and took out a basin. Then I snatched the diary from Sophia's hand, tore off a few pages, lit them directly, and threw them into the basin. "James, what are you doing?" Sophia's eyes widened. She tried to get up to stop me, but being drunk, she couldn't stand steadily and fell down again. There were 106 articles in the diary that I wrote stroke by stroke about my secret love, and the rest was about our relationship. Sophia looked at the basin of fire and cried out, "James, if you tear it anymore, there'll be nothing left. Are you really going to burn our love in this basin? Is there really no chance for us anymore?" My hand paused. I looked at Sophia expressionlessly, then threw the remaining half of the diary into the raging fire. Watching the pages filled with words turn into ashes one by one, memories grew wildly in my heart until they pierced a hole in my heart. I shouldn't have been sad. I was just a bit regretful that the bright-eyed Sophia at 17 was gone. After burning it, I called David. "Come and pick Sophia up. You can't even take care of your own wife. How did you have the nerve to take her away from me back then?" David seemed to want to say something but held back and finally said nothing. A few days later, it was Olivia's 25th birthday. After the birthday party, she took me to the seaside and confessed to me, and I agreed. When Olivia confessed, she said a lot, but she didn't mention the fact that she saved me back then. After I brought it up, a tender smile appeared in her eyes. "I was afraid that if you knew, you would agree to my confession because of this. I want you to like me from the bottom of your heart. Only then will we really be happy together." I smiled, stepped forward, and hugged her affectionately. "Olivia, I really want to say thank you, and I really do like you. You're so silly. If I hadn't broken up with Sophia, wouldn't you have waited in vain for all these years? As long as James marries me, my 8-year secret love won't be in vain." Her sweet voice reached my ears. I slightly loosened my hold on Olivia and looked down at her bright, smiling eyes. I couldn't think of any words to respond to this, so I lowered my head and kissed her directly. Early the next morning, a hot search suddenly exploded, Sophia and James' 1706-day passion. Sophia was the one who broke the news. When I saw the hot search, I felt my eyes go dark, as if my embarrassing past had suddenly been exposed. Sophia posted 2 long tweets. The first one was about the little details of our 5-year relationship. Most of the content was from my diary. She had actually remembered it after reading it that night. The second one was an apology to me and a proposal. "James, let's get married. James, give me another chance. This time, I'll love you for a lifetime, okay? You said you wanted a star-filled wedding. I've already had someone prepare it." Sophia posted pictures of the star-lit wedding scene she had set up. I took a look and it was indeed the style I had once described to her. In Sophia's long tweet, she wrote about getting a marriage certificate with David while she was still with me. In the comments section, there wasn't a single word of blessing, everyone was telling her to scram. I thought she was some affectionate and overbearing young mistress coming to propose, but turns out she's a two-timing slut. Both the guy and the girl are shameless. What kind of niche writing is this, lined up like this? I'm dumbfounded. She had a fiancé but still got married to her first love. What first love? That's the young mistress's ex-husband. They just got a divorce a few days ago. Just as I was about to reply, a hand suddenly reached out from behind and snatched my phone away. "James, don't look at those love quotes," she copied. With that, Olivia pulled me beneath her and lowered her head to kiss me. Jealous women can be really scary, like hungry kittens. After fooling around with her on the bed for a while, I picked up my phone, retweeted Sophia's proposal tweet, and added just 5 words, "Won't marry a divorcee." These 5 words quickly shot to the top of the trending list. Later, I heard from Emily that Sophia was sobbing uncontrollably that day, her eyes red from crying. She called me countless times, but all she got was a non-existent number. Yeah, I had long since cancelled my phone card to avoid her harassment. A few days later, a well-known paparazzo posted a 9-picture set of me and Olivia kissing by the sea. When I saw the trending news, I didn't even dare to look at the comments section. Since Olivia is a big star, I thought the comments would be full of people scolding me. But Mark told me that no one was scolding. Instead, they were all saying that Olivia and I were a good match, and that it was really cute that a famous architect and the lead singer of a top-tier band were high school classmates, having a love story from school days to marriage. That night, Sophia posted a tweet with just a full stop. Netizens all commented that she was devastated. A few minutes later, Olivia also posted a tweet, "Finally caught the boy I've liked for 8 years. I'll love him with my whole life." Extra chapter, the story from Sophia's perspective is about to begin. This is a benefit exclusive to members. If you like it, remember to subscribe to the membership. Click to subscribe. I lost a boy named James. His life should have been as open and bright as his name, but I wasted 5 years of his youth, which I really shouldn't have done. I truly liked him, but after we got together, our feelings gradually faded away until there were only arguments left. Anyway, I didn't learn how to love someone, and I let him down. The day I saw Olivia's official announcement, I decided to go abroad to relax. Not long after, Emily sent me a video call. She said James and Olivia were going to get married, and James had personally designed a dreamy cosmic wedding scene for Olivia. Everyone who saw it said it was very romantic. I took a look, and it really was. If I hadn't lost him, the bride should have been me. James once told me that every string takes risks in the air only for one kite, and he was that string, protecting me, the kite. I didn't understand what he meant back then, but I do now. But Olivia has become the string that protects the kite. In her hands, the kite will fly steadily. I can only watch from afar and wish them happiness. They must be happy. Extra chapter: the story from Olivia's perspective is about to begin. This is a benefit exclusive to members. If you like it, remember to subscribe to the membership. Click to subscribe. I seem to have fallen for a guy named James. The first time we met was at the school gate of New York No. 1 Middle School. It was the first time I was late for school in my life. The teacher didn't say anything, but he came up and gave me 3 demerits. I'm Olivia, the young mistress of the Olivia family. How dare he write down my name? Well, I remembered him. The next time I saw him, he was carrying the math books of our class to the teacher's office. He was accidentally bumped into, and the books in his hands scattered all over the ground. I helped him pick up a few. He said to me rather coldly, "Thanks, classmate." Classmate, I have a name. It's Olivia. He wrote my name in his discipline book but doesn't remember it. Well, I remembered him again. After that, I asked the driver to take a detour to school every morning. After being late 12 times, I asked him if he remembered my name. You're Olivia, who's often late for class. He blushed slightly and pretended to be calm as he opened the notebook in his hand. A whole page was filled with my name. His blushing face was kind of cute, and his handwriting was really nice, especially when writing my name. The strokes seemed to have a unique charm. James's father passed away, so he lived with his mother. His mother and grandmother ran a bookstore at the school gate. I didn't deliberately go and find out this information. I'm not that kind of infatuated girl. I knew all this because of his gossipy deskmate, Robert. One day, on a whim, I wanted to buy a math workbook, so I asked the driver to take me to his mother's bookstore. When I got there, I found the store was closed. I muttered to myself, blaming myself, am I crazy? Going out to buy a workbook in the middle of the night. But I seemed to really be crazy. I couldn't help but stare at him in class. Even my deskmate noticed something was up and asked me if I liked James. Of course, I flatly denied it. After all, I don't do secret crushes. If I like someone, I go for it. In my senior year of high school, I was about to go for training. When Sophia and I went to school, we saw him fall into the river. I quickly pulled him out. I was so flustered that I even gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. That's how I lost my first kiss. At that moment, I thought to myself that when he woke up, he had to be responsible for me. When we got to the infirmary, I went to change my clothes. When I came back, I saw him looking at Sophia tenderly. I was stunned. I couldn't help but wonder, does he like Sophia? However, before I could find an answer, I went to New York for training the next day to prepare for the art exam. After the spring semester started, I found that his eyes were on Sophia every day. Helplessly, I could only hide my feelings deep in my heart. It's really funny to think that even I, Olivia, got caught in the whirlpool of a secret crush. After the college entrance examination, I heard that he was going to confess to Sophia. At that moment, I felt like a proud and ridiculous clown. Confessing to my best friend made me suddenly not want to go to the same university as James. I was afraid I'd turn into a jealous third wheel. What if I couldn't control my emotions and exploded? I might hurt him. Fortunately, my brother Mark was in the same university as him. Through my brother, I could occasionally get some news about him. The next time I met James was at Plana's first anniversary concert. I invited Sophia, and she came with James. But that time, Sophia and I had a huge argument. She said she was going to accompany David to a private party the next day, but the next day happened to be James's birthday. Even if we're sisters, I really can't stand this kind of two-faced behavior. The day Sophia and David got married, a mutual friend sent me a photo of their marriage certificate. At that moment, I was filled with anger, but more than that, I was worried that James would be sad. Mark told me that James was going to Miami, and I immediately flew to Miami without hesitation. When I saw him, he was drowning his sorrows in alcohol. The pain of a broken heart was written all over his face. I really wanted to comfort him, but the words died on my lips. I'm not very good at comforting guys, especially those who just got dumped. Usually, I comfort my brother in a unique way by punching him. But James is the boy I like. How could I punch him? Later, James and I got intimate, but he only gave me $400. I was furious at that time. But when I found him, I saw him sitting alone in front of a breakfast shop. The wind gently blew his hair, and he was like a fragile grass swaying in the wind, as if he would break the next second. I felt so distressed. Such a good boy, why didn't Sophia cherish him? Since she didn't, she should be completely out of the picture. October 7, 2024, was an extremely happy day for me. James and I finally got together, and he even took the initiative to kiss me. At that moment, I felt like the happiest person in the world.